Thanks for joining us for the Member xCite presentation. The Member xCite presentation is informative, interesting to the audience, and showcases the strengths of the presenter as an entrepreneur and their area of expertise. It's not a sales pitch, it's a 10-minute educational and insightful exploration into what they do. And of course, it's exciting.
Today we have Chantal going to be doing her xCite for online branding for introverts and extroverts. Online marketing is not a one-size-fits-all approach, and let me show, and Chantal's going to teach us how branding can maximize your online marketing potential, personal and business branding, and the extrovert guide to making more money, and introvert solution to comfortably standing out online. For those who don't know, Chantal's going to show you how to maximize your online marketing potential without gambling on ads and spending their lives online.
So today I have the pleasure of sharing with you online branding for extroverts and introverts. And I hope the Wi-Fi is going to hold its thing today. But over here in this picture, I actually changed it. My VA had another picture in there, and I was like, now I'm sharing my twins because you can clearly see that on the left-hand side, I've got my extroverted twin, and on the right-hand side, I've got my introverted twin. And I thought, what an amazing opportunity today to share that it's not one size fits all, and there is a strategy for everyone. So who here would like to maximize their online marketing? I mean, actually make whatever you're doing count. And it's so that you don't just make friends, but you actually make sales. And this is what I'm incredibly passionate about. But also so that you don't feel sleazy, and seriously, just so that you not actually are sleazy. And you don't feel like you're oversharing, which often people feel like they can be doing. Okay. And perhaps you're concerned about upsetting your real friends and your family online. And perhaps you would like just to have a lot less stress and spend a lot less time online. So here's a little bit about me, for those of you who don't know. I'm actually a non-techie person myself, and I work with non-techie business owners, mostly just like you. There are a couple of techie people in there, but I'm actually a non-techie one. And I help them to simply manage their online marketing and make it matter. I'm a mum of now 3 teens. So my twins are now 17 years old. Yes, and driving on the road. So if you're on the Gold Coast, be careful. And my youngest one is 14 and very opinionated. But when I first immigrated from South Africa in 2008, I knew nobody, had absolutely no money, were paying away into the country, and I had no marketing experience at all, and nobody knew me in my industry. But we had to make money. So I taught myself how to use social media. What I did do was I invested in myself and my ability to be, I always say this, not just to be a business owner, but to own my business. And I grew a successful 6-figure business with no experience using organic social media marketing methods. And I'm incredibly passionate about helping other business owners do the same. Because I really don't want to be online. I want to be at the beach. I want to be with my kids, with my gorgeous partner and my amazing dog. So since then, I have been nominated for international and national awards, just recently being nominated for top 10 business strategists in Australia and top 20 social media coaches. I've also won a couple of BX awards over the last years. I've been featured on Fox, Channel 9 News, and other media for my out-of-the-box marketing strategies and innovation for helping business owners simply to do it themselves. And yeah, not multiple awards with BX as well. So who would like to maximize their online marketing, whether or not you're an extrovert or an introvert? Because the introverts right now are sitting going, inside secretly, and the extroverts are going, yep. But it's okay. There's actually online branding methods for both of you. I'm going to show you how. So firstly, let's discover why online branding is super important. Well, branding isn't just your colors, your fonts, and your logos. In fact, I'm a bit of a logo hater. I believe people spend way too much time on their logo and not enough time on the other stuff, which is more important. And for me, that is your key messages, your mission statements, and your content. Because when it comes to online marketing, that is your branding. And it's incredibly important that there's consistency with that. So why branding at all? Oh, sorry, this thing just won't get up away. Right, there we go. Firstly, to stand out, and the introverts can stand out too. It's about making an impact. At the end of the day, we just want to make an impact. We want to be memorable, like McDonald's. We want to be recognizable. We definitely don't want to be forgotten. We want to be easy to find, and we want people to know, like, and trust us. But ultimately, what it's about is getting a yes so that people engage you over someone else. I'll give you an example. Recently had an inquiry that came and they said to me, they saw me on social media, they jumped onto my website, and on my website, I'd written, get off the hamster wheel. He picked up the phone, called me and said, I'm ready to get off the hamster wheel. And straight away, that key message resonated with him, and he signed up and bought a program from me. So number 2, how do you show up online, and personally and business? Because a lot of people freak out about this. And again, I was a bit cheeky, changed my picture that my VA had put in, and I put this picture in, because do you want to be the person who's constantly sharing about toilet paper and there being no toilet paper in the shops? And it comes down to your personal and your business branding. So your personal branding is all about you, the person, and your business is part of what you do. So it's important to share some of that on your personal profile. And people deal with people, especially if you're the face of the business, like a coach or a consultant. And social media platforms are set up that way, that you have a personal profile and then your business profile. Now, your business profiles are all about you, the business, but you, the person, is part of that business. So it is important that you also include some of your personal stuff on your business profile. And you can decide how much or how little that is, but it's really important that there is a little bit of a mix on either of those platforms. If you think about Tinder, for those of you on Tinder, you're going, yeah, I'm on Tinder. For those of you on Tinder, literally a picture comes up, a bio comes up, and you either swipe left or right based on whether or not you think that person within 3 seconds is a yay or nay. And the algorithms will either bring you up in front of more people like that or no people like that at all. Now, you need to be stalkable. So a lot of people go, I just want my business profile out there. I don't want my personal stuff out there at all. But when I was online, I was actually looking to buy a Toyota. And this guy was selling this Toyota, and he said, oh, it was a really good price. And he said, done low kilometers, really good price. It was absolutely amazing. I was able to go online, stalk him, and find out that across all these camping tours that he was doing, he was trashing this vehicle online. So it had been in multiple, seriously, on multiple beaches, it had been rolled a few times, and he had basically band-aided and fixed it up. And that's why he was selling it at a really good price. And that was from stalking it. But ultimately, that's what clients do as well. They stalk you online and they see if you stack up. So your first personal profile is about you, the person, but what you do is part of that. Your business profile is about you, the business, but you are part of that business. It's important to include bits of that, especially because it's social media. It's important to include aspects that show your values and develop connection. For example, my dog is part of my branding because I love my dog. So if you're going to come and work with me, you got to love dogs as well, because I'll probably judge you if you don't like dogs. Sorry, cat lovers. I do love cats as well, but I do prefer dogs. It needs to make sense, and there has to be a level of consistency. Here we go. This is not actually Michelle Williams. This is just a generic name. But you can't on your personal profile be spruiking this, and then on your business profile be going, right, business is my thing. So number 3 is you have to maximize your online marketing. And this is how we do it. So you have to decide firstly how you want to be seen online. And that's okay for both the introverts and the extroverts. You can be public, you can be private. You can show your kids or not show your kids. You can show your partner or not your partner. You can include your location or not include your location. But however you decide to show up, you need to understand what people are seeing or not seeing. You have to have consistency across all platforms. You can't be a real estate agent on Facebook and then a tarot card reader on Instagram. And I see this all the time with people who've got multiple profiles, or they haven't gone in or deleted their past profiles. You have to understand the vehicles that you're using. These marketing vehicles that you have to know how to drive them, and you have to understand the petrol that's got to go into them and the maintenance that it requires. Now, here's the thing. It's not selling, it's serving. And this is really important and can often make the introverted people feel a lot more comfortable online. So sleazy versus social. This is the content that you need to be sharing. And again, with what you feel comfortable in sharing. Share your story, and it needs to be a comfortable one that you feel will connect with your relevant audience. Share success stories. You can do this by sharing via anonymous screenshots or templated or even word of mouth referrals. You can offer solutions by sharing your expertise, remembering that you are an expert to the person that you're talking to, who you know something a little bit more than they know. You're still considered an expert. And often people forget that. Show statistics and support quotes to build credibility with yourself in the industry, and make sales by mentioning the outcomes of your desirable offer. So be very customer and outcome focused. Keep it social. A lot of people make it too salesy and not social enough. Too many people keep it too social and not salesy enough. So don't give it all away for free. I can't handle it when coaches say this. There certainly is a strategy about what you should be sharing. And it's usually around sharing the how to do it, not the what to do. People should pay you for the what. Show interest in your audience. It needs to be two-way. It's not just me, 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 me. You need to also be engaging your audience and asking them for feedback or asking them about themselves. Stay in your lane. General cookie cutter and fluffy doesn't work. So if you are particularly good in one area, and if you've got a niche inside a niche, stick in that lane and be really strong in that one thing, and be specific. So fluffy, cookie cutter, and general just doesn't work. So if any of you actually open up a thing of biscuits, think about it for a while. If all the biscuits look the same and they're put out on a plate, do you look for one that's got more icing, or do you look for one that's maybe a little bit skew, or we all look for something that's a little bit different? So fluffy, cookie cutter, and general just doesn't work on social media. So introverts, you can be comfortable online sharing. Okay, when you understand these things, when you understand your privacy setting and who sees what, it's going to give you confidence. If you know how to handle objections and deal with conflict or trolling, you're going to feel more competent and capable. You don't need to be online every minute of the day. So don't listen to those people who tell you you do need to be. You just need to be in your own rhythm and in your own way that's consistent to you. Your content can be comfortable with what you're comfortable with. I remember a lady coming to me, and there was a coach who had told her to speak about how she'd been abused as a child, and she was not comfortable at all. And this coach had said, you need to go out, you need to share the story, you need to do Facebook Lives. And this person honestly was just barely comfortable with just even writing a post on social media. So it is a process, it is a story. You do not have to jump in and, don't listen to other coaches. It sounds terrible, but you can do it at your own pace and what you're comfortable with doing. You can do video without you in it. So if you're not ready for video right now or lives, don't do it. I'm one of those people who says, do with what's comfortable with you right now. You don't have to show you. You can show a sunset. You can show something else. You do not need to show with yourself if that's not what you're comfortable with yet. So extroverts make more than just friends. What extroverts generally do, they just make friends with everyone. And what happens is your timeline and your social media feed goes absolutely crazy, but you're actually weakening the algorithm because it's everyone, and it needs to be strategic and specific. So you need to understand that strategy is more than just spitting online. Your time online can make or break your bank. So by diluting out your algorithm, you're actually potentially weakening your strength of picking up more strategic or creating more strategic relationships. Video marketing requires a structure. If you just want to go out and go me, 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 me the whole time, chances are people are going to stop tuning in because it's not valuable. There is a specific strategy and structure around what should be in your video marketing, or people will not click on you anymore. Collaborations can be destructive and can be destructive or constructive. So I have written a blog on be careful who you get into bed with, because you may get viruses. And that is true. And they're not the type of, it's not viral marketing, it is viruses, meaning that you will be associated by the people that you jump into collaborations with. So it's important to be careful who you say yay or nay to. Too many friends can kill your algorithm. I have spoken to you about that already. So here's the thing, your branding online is a huge contributor to whether or not your online marketing is actually going to make you sales, or if it's actually going to ruin your bottom line. Both extroverts and extroverts can safely and successfully make their marketing matter when they can apply their branding authentically and what feels right to them as well. And I'm going to say strategically, because that's my magic word. So if you'd like the road back to more clarity, confidence and clients and lives, I'd love to share that with you. And you can connect with me through my website, chantalgerardy.com.au. Sorry, I always get chased for the end there when it's like that 10 minutes. I'm like, I know everyone's watching me. I'm like, just race on.
No, amazing. Congrats. Thank you so much. That was amazing. We've got time for probably 1 or 2 questions if anyone has any. Just so interesting about that coach. It was like, unpack all of your stuff on stage in a public forum. And I thought how, and this is one of the issues with coaching, right? It's extremely unregulated, extremely just, oh, no, it's fine. Just tell everyone your stories. Social media, not Dear Diary time. So really clear on that. Are there any questions from our lovely audience? Otherwise, I'm going to ask some. Have to have your stories regrouped before you can share them. 100%, Sashua. Clayton, you've got a question.
I do. I think I heard you say that having too many friends is a bad thing. How many friends is too many friends?
Great question, Clayton. So on Facebook, you're actually personally only allowed to have 3,000 friends. So if you go on and you just accept everyone onto your personal profile, you're going to get to a point where you're going to run out of friend space, which means you're then going to actually have to create another personal profile, which is against Facebook standards. Now, when you work against the platforms, you're setting yourself up for failure for a couple of reasons. AI became very prevalent during COVID. And Facebook now has a lot more artificial intelligence monitoring the platforms, which means when you set up multiple personal profiles, Facebook can pick it up that you're logging in on the same platforms and you've got multiple personal profiles, which increases your work to manage, secondly. But it also means that potentially they could shut you down. I recently had a lady, she runs a couple of MLM businesses and she's high up in the New Zealand. She had multiple profiles, a very professional network online. She lost everything because she had multiple personal profiles and was following that strategy around having multiple friends. And she lost everything. She lost all her content, all her followers, and absolutely everything. And of course, all the pages that were attached to her personal profile. So coaches out there tell you just to go and add everyone. And it's not. It's about considering your referral partners. Hell yes. Referral partners are great people to connect with online, but you shouldn't just be doing it by making friends with them, but by actually forging, getting them offline and having a relationship with them offline and not just online. So strategic partnerships is really important. And yeah, oh, sorry, Natasha, thank you. Yeah, it's 5,000. Thank you for that. Yes, it is. Sorry, 5,000. So when you hit 5,000, you're going to have an issue. So you can go into your personal profile on Facebook and you can remove people that you can just stalk them, hover over their platform profile. It'll give you a preview, have a look at them and think, have I engaged with this person? Are they a potential client or a referral partner or a partnership, and remove them? Because not only that, but if you're just adding people on, you're weakening the algorithm. Clayton, I don't know if you're dating or online dating, but if you think of Plenty of Fish goes, well, you seem to always like people who are into AFL and sport. So I'm now going to match you with those people. The algorithm basically works, well, if you're now engaging with people that it's just weakening your algorithm, and what's going to come up on your feed is going to be time wasting. Yeah, so I hope that answers that question.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a really interesting point about, how many times do you get friend requests from people that you don't know? And I actually had no idea that it could actually be of detriment to my page. I accidentally on Instagram recently got stuck on like spam bot Instagram for a bit, where I just would have 100 comments about crypto is the best. I was like, no, I need to get myself off these, because I was at the risk of, I've got 16,000 followers. I don't want to lose that. I'm really keen to keep that as someone who has that. Very concerning.
Yeah, 100%. And I spoke about that, whatever vehicle you have, you've got to maintain that vehicle and you've got to use that vehicle for how it was created. If you go against that and how to use them, it's like putting diesel into a petrol car. It's just not going to function the same. So it's really important to respect the vehicles that we have and understand how they work. Most people don't have their stuff set up correctly. 80% of people don't. They come to me, their profiles are not set up properly. They don't actually own their pages. They got someone else to set it up for them and they don't have ownership. Then when they sell it or their profile gets deleted, they don't understand why and they lose everything. So for those of you, I would most certainly check that you actually have ownership of your platforms. People come to me and go, I got hacked. I'm like, they got hacked because they didn't set it up properly. They say, no, I set it up properly. No, they didn't. No,
yeah,
they did not.
Comment from Natasha, two-step factor for Facebook. When you learn the hard way, it is extremely challenging, and it's a real issue where people hold pages to ransom, and they, you know, amount of money, and you'll get your page back. Which, you know, pick your poison, right? Like, it's absolutely terrible. So, yeah, really great advice. Thank you, Chantal. Really, really helpful.